So this is my Gorgonic rank up skill drain deck. Taking the infinite Gorgonic rank up. As you can see, I got YUGIOH, skill drain, of course the rank up magic, and I have all these X, Y, Z's I can rank up, I can exceed into and then rank up from. It turns out that I can rank up Chronomali, Crystal, Chrononaut, because he's a rank 3 light psychic. And I can rank him up into the rank 5 light psychic. Crest of Horror, chaos number 69, which is awesome. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls. Who doesn't like that effect? And that's a static effect. You don't need materials for that. You don't even need number 69 crest as a material to get that effect. It's just automatic. And he's a 4,000, so ranking up into a 4,000, can't argue with them results, right? So, and I also have CXYZ Varian. I rank up into him using Pleiades. So I use Astro Force on Dante to go into Pleiades. Once I exhausted Pleiades effect, which won't be that hard, I can rank up in the following turn CXYZ Variant or Chaos XYZ Variant. So yeah, I love that. And of course he gets 1,000 for each material attached to him. So even if I don't use these materials, it's extra nice. So I can make Dante, then rank up into Pleiades. Don't use Pleiades as a effect, just wait a turn to use rank up magic again and rank up into Chaos XYZ Variant. And right there we got a 4,000. So that's just an example. Alright, so I have Gorgonic Gargoyle. When you normal summon a rock type monster, you can special summon this card. It's like Kagetoge, you know. It's pretty basic effect. 1,000 attack, Dark Rock. This has a really good effect. Gorgonic Golem. When this card is destroyed by battle sent to the grave, the attack of the monster that destroyed it becomes 0 while that monster is face up on the field. Gotta love that. That's very useful. Especially you can deliberately summon it and attack something that's stronger than Gorgonic Golem and reduce that monster's attack to 0, making it easier to kill. Also you could just put it defensively, like set it, have somebody run into it. It's like, you just lost all your attack power. Easier to kill you in the following turn. It's a secondary effect, which is really cool. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one set spell / trap card your opponent controls. That target cannot be activated this turn. Your opponent cannot activate that targeted card in response to this card FX activation. So yeah, I love that. This is, I wouldn't be surprised if I splashing this into some other decks, like, you know, Lightsworn decks and stuff like that. Decks where I mill. You know, I might even splash this into like Burning Abyss, just so I can get him in the graveyard and get that effect, because he has 2 really good effects, and he's you know, dark, so that's useful in dark decks, especially when you banish to use his effect, right? Especially when you know somebody has a face on Bombus, use his effect, like banish, target that Bombless, and then drop Dark Bomb while you have 3 darks, and then use Dark Bomb to pop that Bombus and everything else you got. So it's awesome. Gorgonic Cerberus. I like the card, it's cute. The attack is decent, 1300 for a 3-star rock. But its effect is ass. I wish its effect was it could be special summon when you normal summon, you know what I mean? I wish it was like Gargoyle, you know what I mean? That would have made it pretty awesome, or if it had an effect when you summon, you can add one. So hopefully they add more support for the Gorgonics. That'd be nice. This deck works pretty similar to Burning Abyss, so that's why I'm using the same concept as Burning Abyss. Alright, Gorgonic Crystal Bones, because you get special summons, so it's like the Cyber Dragon of the deck. Special summon them. Then summon a Gorgonic monster overlay, instant rank 3. Another useful thing you can do with him, obviously, is special him, discard Gorgonic Crystal Skull to add another one of him to your hand, so you can use them later, you know. Similar to the way you use Kagetoge, how you use Feral King Imp to add a Kagetoge, so you can keep XYZ summoning, do your rank 4 plays. So it's the same concept. Gorgonic Skull is just so you can roll the Crystal Bones, so you can special summon, normal summon, exceed. YUGIOH, so you can recycle all of that, including the extra deck monsters as well. I noticed I forgot to put Gustav Max in the extra deck, but for this build, it's not necessary. We don't need it that bad, but you can put it in if you want, but we don't need it that bad. We'll just spam everything else, especially I want to take advantage of Cosmic Hara. Crest of Horror. Spell Shadow Arrow, that will help against, a lot of decks, Madoches, what are they called? When your opponent has like 2 supply units, you want to get rid of both, not just one. Pendulum Summon, of course, this is mainly for that, but you want to get rid of other stuff too. Too many continuous spells are being played, too many field spells and stuff, especially with the whole field spells can't be destroyed by playing another one. That's bullshit, but oh, whatever. This would come in handy for that scenario, but mainly for pendulums. Fate Doll, get rid of the back row. MST, get rid of the back row. Red Screen, Defense, my basic staples. Wing Blast to get rid of stuff that can't be destroyed by battle artifacts, and can help you slow down your opponent if you're sending a trap they have on their field back on top of the deck, or a monster that they set, you just send it back to the top of the deck, because they're just gonna reset it. So you just clear the field for an attack, and then they'll just reset whatever they were trying to reset. Skill Drain, because it shuts down a lot of decks, and this deck can play on the Skill Drain, obviously, because it's like Burning Abyss, so Skill Drain is there for that. Fury Wind comes in handy if you want to obviously shut down Skill Drain so your effects can be alive again, but also it's good in a chain, because you could kill somebody with this, just like Spell Shadow Arrow. Because I forgot to mention, Shadow Arrow does 500 damage for every spell you destroy with this. That includes even destroying like an MST or something. But you could chain it and you can just kill somebody doing that. They'll be like, MST, alright, Spell Shadow Arrow, you take 500, you lose. If your opponent plays something, for example, I noticed in YUGIOH Pro, when your opponent plays a card, right, and you chain to that card, like with a spell, Fairy Wind, for example, right, and then you chain to Fairy Wind with something like MST. MST will resolve popping something, but it won't leave the field yet until Fairy Wind destroys it. Then Fairy Wind destroys it. That's an extra 300 added to the fact you're already destroying a card that your opponent activated. So that's 600 in total. So it's interesting to see that happening in YUGIOH Pro. So hopefully that's legit. And hey, there's a way you can chain MST with Fairy Wind to destroy something that's face down while Fairy Wind destroys face up, and deal an extra 300 damage with MST on top of that. So that's a good combo right there to use. And extra damage is always good, especially if you're trying to finish somebody off. Rank up magic, don't need more than one. You could use more than one in a deck, that's your decision, but don't really need more than one. One is enough, since you could reuse it. Wind up Zen main, good defense. On the skill drain. Without skill drain, it has, of course, its full power. If it would be destroyed, detach material, and it could pop a card on the field during the end phase when it does that. Chronomaly, Crystal, Chrononaut. He has a decent effect, but mainly because he's a 2100, so under skill drain, he's a good 2100 you can use to poke at your opponent. You can take down Corn, number 101, you know, things like that. They have, you know, a little between 2000 to 2100 attack monsters within that range. You can use this to take them down. You could of course use Azagorn and just rape them, especially if skill drains on the field. But this is an extra option. But also I use them to rank up into 4000, so you can make him and then rank up into him, and now you got 4000 beat stick on their skill drain. But without skill drain, he has a decent effect where you can detach a material when he gets targeted for an attack, and your opponent, he doesn't get destroyed by battle or card effects, and your opponent takes the battle damage you would have taken. So your opponent can essentially kill himself if he doesn't pay attention to this effect. Plus, if your opponent's like, oh, I attack with a monster that's really strong, skill drains on the field, oh, really cool. Fairy Wind, destroy my skill drain. You know what I mean? It depends how you, what's the term is first. Okay, so when your opponent declares the attack, you're like, alright, I'm activating the effect, I'm chaining to my effect with Fairy Wind. Fairy Wind will destroy skill drain, then your Chronomaly effect will kick in, and then the attack will continue, and your opponent will end up killing himself. That's what I was trying to say. So you get the idea. So when he attacks, you activate the effect, he's thinking, oh no, you got skill drain. Well, I'm Fairy Winning in the chain, so skill drain is going to be on the field once this whole chain resolves, and you're going to kill yourself. So it's a good way of setting somebody up for failure. When they plus Fairy Wind will also deal them 300 damage, so that's extra damage to be taken, so that would guarantee they'll pretty much lose in that one attack. Same could be done with his rank up version, right? The monster you rank up into, Crest of Horror. Your opponent would be like, alright, attack monster stronger than your monster, and skill drains on the field, so he doesn't get his effect. That's cool, but here's the thing. I chain Fairy Winds and destroy skill drain, and now his effect is live. Now I just blew up everything you got. So that's another thing to take advantage of. Some people would, you know, not notice that. You could also use MST. I just keep saying Fairy Wind because Fairy Wind is Fairy Winds. You know what I mean? Save your MST for face down cards. You know what I mean? That's the idea. Faith Off for face down, MST for face down. Fairy Winds and Spellshine Arrow is for face up cards. You know what I mean? What if there's a face up trap and all you have is MST? Then get rid of the face up trap with MST, like Skill Drain, for example. Okay. Number 49, Fortune Tune, is like a mini. It's like a mini Exodios. So you can recycle your level 3 rock monsters. Mainly, you probably try to recycle your Crystal Bones, since they're your Cyber Dragons. Leviar, in case any of your Gorgonics get removed from play. And definitely, once you use Gorgonic Golem's effect, you might want to bring them back and then exceed with them and reuse them. Again, he does have multiple uses, so you can. That's when skill just not on the field, of course. But under skill, he's an 1800 attacker, 600 defense, so that's not bad. Undercard also 1800 attack, 600 defense, which is also not bad. And it has the ability that you detach and destroy one set card, so that's useful for getting rid of back row. And skill drain's not on the field. And you can use him to rank up into Crimson Knight Vampire Bram. We have Engineer, really good. 1800, and he's like a sword and shield combo, right? You can attack with him, but you can also defend with him. He has an effect where you can detach, target a type position monster, switch it to defense. Once it can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects, that's good against JD, Black Rose, Exoton Knight, stuff like that. you know, their effects, of course. You could also stop those effects with skill drain, right? And yeah, you can rank up into Tyrus using Engineer. Then we got Dante. He'll help you mill monsters from or cards from the top of your deck. Even with skill drain on the field, you still get those 3 mills because it's a cost, not really an effect. So him getting a power boost will get negated by skill drain, but not his milling. That will happen, and you can get, you know, your golems in the graveyard if you ever use their effects. And the good thing is it's not a once per turn thing. So if you have 2 or 3 of them in the grave, you can use all 3 and shut down your opponent's back row. You know what I mean? And try to go for game, especially if you're dropping something like this. Oh, of course you can rank him up into Pleiades. Acid Golem with skill drain, 3000 beat stick. In general, just a 3000 beat stick. And he's a rock, so he represents the rocks, right? Crest of Power, 4000 beat stick. Plus has a really awesome effect if you can get your opponent to, you know, attack it. Skill drain is one way to get your opponent to, like, I make my monster stronger, I attack. Alright. MST or Fairy wins my skill drain, and now my effect will kick in, and all your cards have been obliterated all at the same time. Should have waited for main phase 2 to set your back row. Now they're destroyed. Oh, you were playing artifacts? Oh, that sucks for you. To be you. Right? Tyrus, while it has materials and it attacks, while it has materials, it can't be destroyed by card effects. When it attacks, after attacks, at the end of the battle phase, you can pop 1 card on the field. During the end phase, you detach a material. Crimson Knight, Vampire Ram. You can detach 1 material from this card and target 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon that target to your side of the field. But if you do, only that monster can attack for the rest of this turn. You know what I mean? So that's a really, really good effect. You're gonna use the effect of him once per turn. During the standby phase of the turn after this card you control, this card you control, controlled was destroyed by your opponent's card effect or by battle. You can special summon it in face of defense. So that's useful. It's a floater and it'll work even with skill drain on the field, so that's decent. M7, that's so you can, you know, obviously drop it on top of Pleiades. Now we get a 2700 beat stick, but also, you know, if skill drain's not on the field, you can get its effect to recycle anything, like your monsters, obviously. Especially if you want to get back an Exodius from the graveyard and reuse it, or just get rid of something in your opponent's hand, or field or graveyard. Get rid of a monster. Can't be destroyed by battle card effects. If skill drain's not on the field, of course. Pleiades, during either player's turn, you can detach a material from this and target 1 card on the field and return it to the hand. It's usually good to use during end phase to bounce back to your opponent's hand that he just set. Also good for getting rid of, you know, synchro plays, XYZ plays, stuff like that. Somebody summon something that's a threat, get rid of it once per turn. Gaia Dragon, so you can drop it obviously on any of the rank 5s and 6, so that we can pierce. You don't need materials for that, it's just a piercer, especially if skill drain's not on the field. And Chaos XYZ Varian. He in the right combo, he could become a 4000. And you rank up into them using Pleiades. Then he has the ability, you can take a 1-number monster in your graveyard until your opponent's end phase. This card's name becomes that, and you gain the effect of that. So let's see. I just have them because I can't rank up into them. I'm checking to see if I have any number. Well, of course, I can copy number Chaos 69. I can copy its effect. Acid Golem. He's the number monster. Number 49 Fortune Tune. You know, those are like the only number monsters I can copy off of. But mainly just the potential of making a 4,000 beater is enough. And that's it. Well, not really. Here's two other possible options. Number 47 Nightmare. Especially if you use Chaos XYZ Variant's effect with number 47. So that way you can attack directly with Scooters. Now I feel that'd be awesome. That's an awesome play right there. You could probably take out Leviar for that. Maybe even Fortune Tune for that. And Battle Crusader Deontis, because it has the ability to deal 200 damage to your opponent, so it's kind of like the Gaga Cowboy of rank 3s. It requires 3 level 3s, but with this deck that won't be difficult, because all you have to do is special summon Crystal Bones, normal summon a Gorgonic monster, and have a Gorgonic Gargoyle. A Gorgonic Gargoyle will special summon when you normal summon a rock monster. Now you have 3 overlay, and you can go into Battle Crusader Deontis and use his effect by detaching material. Deal 200 for every card in your opponent's hand. If he has 4 cards, that's 800. Like Gaga Cowboy would deal 800. Or if he has 5 cards in his hand, you'll deal 1,000, which is 200 more than Gaga Cowboy. So those are just some little recommendations. And that's the end of the deck profile.